let's unpack this. Have you ever found yourself in a moment where you're, desperately seeking guidance? You've got this burning question, really need an answer, only to find, silence.
Or maybe, the answer you do get isn't at all what you expected, and it leaves you wondering not just why, but maybe what you misunderstood about the whole act of seeking itself.
Exactly. Today we're diving into a really fascinating insight from an ancient text that explores precisely this tension.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story about why sometimes when people came to inquire of the divine, they were met not with wisdom, but with this surprising direct refusal.
Mm-hmm. Unequivocal.
Right. It forces us to confront a pretty profound truth about what it truly means to seek, and maybe what's really being sought from us in return.
And our source material for this deep dive, it comes from a rich devotional text. We're specifically looking at the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verses 1 through 9. It gives us this striking look at sincerity or, the lack of it behind our inquiries. It kind of reveals that the divine isn't just looking for questions, but for hearts that are actually ready to, truly engage.
So our mission today is to explore this ancient account, really uncover the challenging lessons it holds for us, and then crucially, connect those threads to our modern lives. What does God truly desire from us when we seek Him? How do we move beyond just asking questions to a place of genuine understanding and maybe even transformation? Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The text transports us back to this very specific moment.
Mm-hmm.
It says, in the 7th year, in the 5th month, on the 10th day of the month.
So specific.
Right, so it's not just random. It marks a time of great upheaval for Israel. They're in exile. And into this scene, we see certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord, and they sat before the prophet Ezekiel.
Yeah, these weren't just average people. These were leaders.
Exactly. Respected leaders coming with what seems like a very deliberate purpose, seeking divine counsel in a time of national crisis. You can almost feel the weight of their expectation.
And that's precisely what makes God's response so, utterly fascinating and frankly quite shocking. What's unexpected here is the immediate, no-nonsense refusal delivered by God Himself passed directly through Ezekiel. The key verse, Ezekiel 20.3, it states it with incredible bluntness. Is it to inquire of me that you come? As I live, declares the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not subtle. It's not a maybe later or a vague silence. It's a clear, definitive, public declaration. Nope, I won't be consulted by you.
Imagine being one of those elders.
Right. They've come for wisdom, for a word from God in this terrible situation, and bam, a stone wall.
That just sounds incredibly stark. My immediate thought is just, why? I mean, why would God refuse to be inquired of? Especially when people are seemingly coming to Him for guidance, maybe desperately. On the surface, it just feels so counterintuitive, to deny access to those who are seeking. What was it about their approach?
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture the source material lays out for us, the refusal wasn't arbitrary at all. The core issue was, simple on one level, but profoundly complex. Because their hearts were far from Him. That's the reason.
Their hearts were far.
Yeah. The elders wanted God's help. They wanted His answers, sure. But, and this is critical, they wanted them without surrendering their idols. So the problem wasn't the act of asking. It was the profound lack of genuine sincerity, the lack of unreserved commitment in their hearts that just, underpinned their whole inquiry. They were approaching God almost like a transaction, seeking divine help for their problems, but totally unwilling to let go of the things they really cherished and prioritized over Him.
So it reveals this huge gap between outward religious actions and what's actually going on inside.
Exactly, a deep chasm.
So their request was kind of hollow then, or at least fundamentally misaligned with what God actually values.
Yeah.
And the text, it doesn't just stop there, right? It digs into why their hearts were so far off.
It does. To really drive this point home, God doesn't just say no. He launches into this profound historical reminder. He reminds them of His unwavering faithfulness right from the very beginning of their relationship. He recounts how He chose Israel, not when they were some great nation, but while they were slaves, downtrodden in Egypt.
Yes.
He made Himself known to them there with miracles, incredible signs. He even swore to them, made a solemn promise that He would bring them into a land that I had searched out for them, a land flowing with milk and honey, the most glorious of all lands. I mean, this was a covenant built on divine initiative, rescue, promise, incredible provision.
An amazing promise.
Totally. Yet, despite this overwhelming display of faithfulness, this incredible promise, what was Israel's response? The text says they rebelled against me and were not willing to listen to me. None of them cast away the detestable things their eyes feasted on, nor did they forsake the idols of Egypt. So this wasn't just like a one-time slip-up. It was a persistent pattern of rebellion, a stubborn refusal to abandon the idolatry that was rooted before they even left Egypt.
Even before?
Yeah. They saw God's power, they tasted freedom, but they still clung to these detestable things. It really highlights this kind of profound spiritual amnesia, a deeply divided heart.
That paints such a vivid, almost heartbreaking picture, doesn't it? This persistent rebellion against just incredible faithfulness. You have God patiently leading, making these grand promises, delivering them from oppression, and yet they continually turn to other things labeled detestable. And what really stands out to me is that even when God said he would pour out his wrath back in Egypt, punish their rebellion, he acted for the sake of his name, so it should not be profaned in the sight of the nations.
That's such a key point.
It really underscores his long-suffering nature, doesn't it? It wasn't just about punishing them. It was about upholding his own holy reputation, his character, even when faced with continued disloyalty from the very people he chose.
Absolutely. It implies this kind of divine commitment that actually transcends their failures. His faithfulness isn't dependent on theirs. He preserves his name, his character, even when his people are actively undermining the relationship. It's this enduring patience, but it's a patience that ultimately demands a response.
Okay, so fascinating history. But this isn't just an ancient story for ancient people, is it? What does this deep dive into Ezekiel 20 tell us today about how we approach seeking answers, guidance, whatever it is, in our own lives?
Yeah.
Because I can't help but feel there's something resonant there about seeking while our hearts are, well, maybe a bit divided.
Absolutely. It raises a really important question for us right now. The source highlights this crucial point. God isn't just a quick fix for our problems.
Right, not a vending machine.
Exactly. He's not a cosmic vending machine where you put in a prayer and ping, ging, an answer pops out. Instead, the text really reveals that he wants our hearts, not just our questions. It's about cultivating a genuine, intimate relationship, one built on, wholeheartedness, not just this transactional thing where we only show up when we need something. Expecting him to deliver without any kind of reciprocal commitment from us. Many people might pray for a job or healing or a relationship, but are they also praying for like a genuine transformation of their own heart? That's the real distinction here.
That is a powerful distinction.
Yeah.
And just like Israel's elders clung to their physical idols, the gods of Egypt. We sometimes find ourselves seeking guidance, seeking solutions while we're still clinging to habits, idols, or lifestyles that dishonor him. And it's easy to dismiss idols as some old-fashioned idea, but our source material makes it clear these can take very modern forms. You mentioned career obsession. I mean, think of someone so consumed by climbing the ladder that family, health, maybe even ethics get pushed aside. Yet they still pray for blessings on their work.
Right, or focusing solely on relationships, expecting another person to be everything, fulfill every longing. It becomes this all-consuming quest for approval, maybe, when real fulfillment has to come from somewhere deeper.
Definitely. And don't forget the pursuit of social media approval, letting likes and comments define our worth, shape how we act, how we see ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
These can absolutely become the detestable things our eyes feast on today. Maybe subtly, maybe not so subtly, distracting us from having a true, undivided heart.
Precisely. And the core message here is really profound. God is patient and faithful, but he calls us to return fully, not partially. His faithfulness, like we saw with Israel, it's always unwavering. But his desire, his call, is for our complete devotion, not just a convenient call when we're in trouble.
Fully, not partially. That's key.
It is. It's about genuine repentance, which means actually turning away from those modern idols, whatever they might be for each of us, and desiring a true, unreserved relationship with him, rather than just, using him for our own ends or as a sort of cosmic backup plan when our own efforts fail.
Yeah.
It's a call to identify and then let go of what's really pulling our hearts away, what's preventing us from truly hearing or maybe even receiving what we need. It's recognizing that sometimes the answer isn't a direct solution, but it's actually an invitation for us to change our posture.
This deep dive, it really invites some serious self-reflection, doesn't it, in a very pointed way. So we ask you listening right now, when you find yourself needing something, asking for guidance, why do you seek? Is it primarily for the quick answers, the fix for the immediate problem? Or is it for something deeper, a more intimate relationship that might actually require you to change?
That's the question.
And are there idols? Maybe it is career or certain relationships, financial security, maybe even that chase for social media validation that you might need to honestly look at. And perhaps surrender in order to truly connect. What is it that keeps you from fully surrendering, from laying down those things that hold your heart captive?
And the passage, it's far from being just a critique of Israel's past. It really stands as this timeless invitation to us, personally, to consider how we can approach seeking with a truly repentant heart, an unreserved heart. It asks us to desire God himself, his presence, his character, maybe even more than just his solutions to our immediate challenges.
Desire him more than just the solutions.
Right. It's about understanding that a true answer might not always be a direct yes or no to our request. Sometimes it's an invitation to transform our posture, our priorities, and ultimately our entire relationship with the divine. It's about aligning our will with his, not just waiting for his will to conveniently align with ours.
Wow. What a powerful distinction we've uncovered in this deep dive. The profound difference between just sort of asking questions and truly seeking with a surrendered, wholehearted approach. It's a really compelling reminder that genuine connection isn't just about the words we say, but about where our deepest affections, our deepest loyalties truly lie.
So the next time you find yourself seeking guidance, looking for answers, maybe consider this thought. What if the most profound answer you could possibly receive isn't a direct fix for your immediate problem, but rather, what if it's a gentle yet firm invocation? An invitation to deeper intimacy and maybe a radical call to examine what you truly hold dear and maybe what truly holds you in your own life.
Something really profound to mull over as you navigate your own journey of seeking. Until next time, keep digging deeper.